in our syllabus, usually outliers being determined by incorporate it into our box plot, right, to show it visually, or we can also calculate it by using quartiles. So what is the formula? So we have, for mild outlier, we have this formula, Q1 minus with 1.5 times IQR. So we have before IQR, which is this length, right? Q3 minus Q1 will give us this length. So when you times with 1.5, meaning that whatever value that is, right, Q1 minus with this, so whatever value that is from Q1 and 1.5 more, so maybe around here, whatever value that is outside this is considered outliers. That is the logic. The same goes for this one, Q3 plus 1.5 IQR, this length. So this is Q3 plus with 1.5 this length. So we have the same length, right? We just expand it one times. We expand it 1.5 half times more. So whatever outside this is considered outlier. So we call these two here, this and this, as fences. This is lower fence, this is upper fence. Those are outside this fence is considered outliers. This is known as mild outlier. We can also have extreme outlier where they compare it with 3 times this length. So 1, 2, 3. So this may be the extreme the extreme outlier. Those as exceed this, and 1, 2, 3 maybe exceed this point. Those around this area and this area is considered extreme outlier. What is actually the effect of extreme outliers here? Outlier, when you have outliers, you can't really use sometimes a powerful method, because usually later you're going to see that as I said, when you deal with outliers, you can't use measures like mean, right? Measures that is sensitive to outliers, right? If you want to calculate, you will need to use median. That is the kind of things that you need to look at. Okay, so the way you choose a method, right, need to be decided depending on you have an outliers or not. So when you have an outlier, you can maybe simply exclude the value, or you can also check whether that outlier is truly an outlier or just some data error. Maybe you will need a typo in your data when you input the data, or maybe if it can't be excluded, then you will need to go for methods that can accommodate outlier, right? If you force yourself to use a method that can't tolerate with outlier, that is sensitive, you will get a biased result. Okay, so that is the effect of outlier, right? The effect of outlier to your data, it will indicate that your data is actually is truly having the outlier, or maybe there's an error in the data itself. The effect in your analysis, you will need to find a method that you can that is actually robust, or can handle outlier value, right? Not sensitive enough, right? You can go back to our video that discussing on MCT to see what effect that you get if you are using mean in a situation that you are having an outlier. All right, so in terms of output, if you are using a method that is sensitive to outlier, right, with a data that contain outlier, you will get a biased result. All right, so that is about outliers. Thank you.